Stoics lived for hundreds of years and learned not only how to be strong and self-disciplined, but also how people work, especially how women's minds work, which is often very mysterious. They knew that a sharp mind can pick up on tiny signs that other people might miss. Women in particular have a subtle way of showing interest without saying anything. If you've ever wondered if she's waiting for you to make the first move, there's good news. She might be sending you more signals than you think. These signals are small and hard to pick up unless you know what to look for. Stay tuned, because in this video I'll talk about 7 key signs that women give you when they're waiting for you to act. Watch until the end to make sure you don't miss the subtle cues she might be sending you away. Before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you've ever seen these signs or have a story to share. Her feet are facing you. This may seem like a small thing, but trust me, the way her feet are facing can tell you a lot more than you think. We usually look for clues in her face or the way she sits, but there's a whole language going on below the surface. This is one of the most basic subconscious messages she can send. So why the feet? The answer lies in how real they are. Unlike hands or faces, which people can easily control or mask, feet are often overlooked and act as a least recognized body part. This means that when someone points her feet at you, whether she's sitting or standing, her body is sending you a clear message. Pay attention, the Stoics. These people were great at observing people, and they would have noticed this silent cue. They knew that a lot of our relationships with each other are based on what we say, without saying a word. Understanding these body language cues was important for getting along with other people. Grace and smarts. A Stoic might say that even when people don't say anything, their bodies still communicate, and that includes the direction their feet are pointed. When someone is interested and engaged, their whole body subtly shifts in your direction. It's as if their feet are leading them toward you, even if they aren't aware of it yet. Think about what this means. She may be keeping her cool, chatting with others, or laughing at something silly. But if her feet are pointed toward you, she's not just being polite. Her body is showing you where her real interest lies. It's a primal form of communication that cuts through all the noise. Her feet are literally pointing her toward the person who has her attention. This isn't just something to notice when you're alone with her. It becomes even more revealing in a group setting if she's surrounded by friends in the middle of a lively conversation, and yet her feet are still pointed at you. That's a strong indicator that amidst the chaos, you're the one who has captivated her interest. The feet are in a way like a compass, pointing toward what she truly desires even when her words or actions might not make it obvious. Let's take it a step further. Imagine you're at a social event. She's talking to her friends, smiling and laughing, but her feet are angled toward you, the one across the room. Her body is betraying her, showing that her attention is on you, despite the distractions. This is the kind of thing that a Stoic observer, sharp and perceptive, would have noticed immediately. They understood the importance of watching not just what people say but what they do unconsciously. And if her feet point toward you, she's giving you a signal that most people would miss entirely. But here's where things get even more intriguing. What happens if her feet are pointed away? What if, even though she's laughing and smiling with you, her feet are angled toward the door or toward someone else? Well, my friend, this is a sign you can't afford to ignore if her feet are pointing away. She might be telling you that she's not as interested as her words or face suggest. It's her subconscious mind planning an escape route, even if the rest of her is trying to keep up appearances. She's communicating her lack of interest without saying a word. You see, the beauty of this signal is in how subtle it is. It's not something obvious like a lingering touch or a direct flirtatious remark. It's a small subconscious behavior that most people would never even think to look for. But once you start noticing it, you'll realize how often it happens and how telling it can be. If you're not sure what to do with her, don't pay attention to what she says, or even how she looks. Take a quick glance at her feet. Are they directed at you, or are they pointing away if they're angled toward you? It's her body's way of pulling you into her space. Her world. She may be waiting for you to pick up on this sign and make your move. And let's not forget the inverse if her feet are turned away. Especially when paired with other distancing behaviors, it's a clear indication that her interest may not be as strong. As you hoped, this is not a guarantee of disinterest, but it's a cue to proceed with caution. Remember, just as the Stoics would say, everything has a reason, and that includes body language. If she's open to you, her feet will show it. If not, they'll point the way out. So the next time you're with her and trying to gauge her feelings, don't just rely on what she's saying or how she's smiling. Take a second to check her feet. If they're aimed in your direction, it's a sign she feels drawn to you. But if they're angled toward the door or another person, you might want to rethink your strategy. It's the smallest details like this one that often reveal the most. The Stoics knew that to read human nature correctly, you must learn to observe what is not being said, and this is exactly what watching her feet can teach you. Chapter 2. At first glance, this may seem like an innocent statement, but when a woman casually says she has some free time, she's not just stating a fact. She's opening a door for you to step through. This isn't something she tells everyone, and it's not a random line. When she tells you she's free, it's a sign she's waiting for you to suggest doing something together. In ancient Stoicism, the idea of kaios, the right or opportune moment, was very important. Stoics believed in paying close attention to the present and acting with precision when the right moment came. Women often show interest in subtle, indirect ways, and saying they're free is one of those moments. The Stoic observer would recognize this as an opportunity, a signal to act wisely and confident lie, when she says something like, "I don't have any plans this weekend, or I'll be free after work." She's handing you a golden opportunity on a silver platter. She's essentially creating an opening for you to make a move. It's a delicate balance. She doesn't want to be too forward, but she also wants to give you a clear enough hint that, it's safe to ask her out. In many ways, this is her version of saying, "I'm available now. It's your turn to do something about it." But here's the key: timing is everything. If she mentions her free time and you let it slip by without taking action, it's not just a missed opportunity. It's a signal to her that you're not interested or confident enough to take the lead. She's testing the waters, gauging whether you'll pick up on her cue. If you don't, she may start to lose interest, thinking you're either uninterested or too indecisive. Remember, Stoicism teaches us to act decisively when the moment arises. This is one of those moments, and it's not just about the words she uses, it's also about how she says them. Pay attention to her tone. If she's casually mentioning her free time, almost as if she's waiting for you to jump in and say, "Let's do," that's your green light to do something. She might move on to someone else if you don't give in. Women don't always send clear signs, so when she does, you need to be ready to act. But now things get tricky. It is important to read the context because not every statement of free time is an invitation. If she's complaining about how busy she is at work and then says, "I have some free time coming up," it might just be an outburst. In this case, it's best to listen and EMPIs before suggesting a date. On the other hand, if she says, "I don't have any plans this weekend," she's probably testing your ability to seize the moment. This is where the Stoic wisdom of discernment comes in. You need to know when to act and when to hold back, and her tone and the context of her words will help you. If her mention of free time seems like a gift, don't turn it down. Here's a secret. The longer you wait to recognize this signal, the less interested she'll become. Women who like you won't always put themselves out there, and if they do, they'll only do it for so long. Once she starts to feel ignored, she may start pulling away emotionally. So when she says she has some free time, take it as a subtle but significant nudge in the right direction. It's her way of saying, "I'm waiting for you to make the next move. The ball is in your court." Just as a Stoic philosopher would see a brief chance to act wisely and virtuously, you must recognize her mention of free time as the perfect moment to act. Don't hesitate. Act confidently and make plans with her. If you don't, someone else will. Chapter 3. She hints at what she likes to do. One smart way for women to show interest is to imply that they are interested by mentioning their hobbies and favorite activities. When she talks about what she likes to do in her free time, she's not just making conversation. She's giving you useful information on how to win her over. This isn't just small talk. It's a chance to find out what makes her tick, and more importantly, how you can match your interests with hers. Stoics believed in paying close attention to the little things because they knew that's where the big truths are often hidden. In the same way, a woman might not say, "I want to spend time with you," but she will talk about the things she loves doing. This is the first clue in a series that will lead you to making a connection. If you can figure out these clues, you'll know how to win her heart. For example, she might say, "I love hiking but haven't been in a while," or, "There's this great coffee shop." I've been wanting to check out. Her comments may seem like casual ones, but she's really giving you the tools to make an experience she'll enjoy that includes you. If you pay attention, you'll see that she's not just chatting randomly. She's giving you a chance to invite her to do something she loves. Stoic advice tells us that life is about doing things. It's not enough to just listen to what she says, you have to do something about it. If she says she loves hiking, it should be clear what to do next. Plan a hiking trip. If she talks about a restaurant or activity she likes, suggest that you go there with her. This shows her that you're not only listening but also taking the initiative, which will make you stand out from other guys who might just nod along without doing anything. But here's the thing. Dropping hints isn't just about what she likes to do, it's also about what she's inviting you into. When a woman talks about her interests and hobbies, she's testing to see if you'll be a part of her world. She's giving you a chance to join her in something she enjoys, which can bring you closer together. If you ignore these signs, she might think you don't want to connect with her on a deeper level. The Stoic observer would never let such a moment pass, and of course time is important. You don't want to jump in too soon or too late. If she drops a hint about something she likes to do, now is the time to take advantage of the situation. If you hesitate or act like you're not interested, she may feel like her efforts to connect with you aren't being acknowledged, and as we all know, women lose interest when they think their efforts aren't being valued. So what should you do? Pay attention when she talks about her hobbies. She's giving you a chance to connect over shared experiences. Do not miss those chances to do something with her, whether it's camping, cooking, or going to a favorite place in town. These shared experiences will help you get to know her better and let her know you're ready to make a move. Part 4. If you've ever noticed her subtly adjusting her clothes, brushing off invisible dust, or fidgeting with her jewelry when she's around you, she might be sending you a message that she likes you. According to Stoic philosophy, when a woman fixes her appearance in your presence, it's usually because she wants to look her best for you. This is an instinctive, almost subconscious action that says a lot about how she feels. A lot of attention is paid to the small signs of human behavior that can be seen in acts that other people might miss. Fixing her clothes or jewelry is one of those small but meaningful things that shows what she really wants. Music. It's not just about making her look good. She wants you to notice how nice she looks. It shows that they are aware of themselves and want your attention. When she changes her chain, let's break this down. Makes her hair or shirt smooth, she's not doing it for anyone else. She's doing it because she knows you're watching. When she acts this way, it's usually because she's scared, excited, or both. It's her way of telling you that she likes you. I want to look perfect for you without saying it. It's one of those small signs that you might miss if you're not paying attention. A calm person would never let such a detail bother them. If you could get past their attention, they would understand that the smallest actions often have the biggest meanings. So the next time you see her fiddling with her bracelet or straightening her dress, don't just dismiss it as meaningless. See it for what it is. She's trying to impress you. But it's not just about vanity or looks. Fixing her clothes or jewelry can also mean she's nervous or excited around you. When a woman likes you, she often becomes more self-conscious. She wants to make sure she looks good because she's aware that your eyes are on her. This heightened awareness can lead to those small adments, those subtle movements that signal she's thinking about how she looks in your presence, and it doesn't stop at clothes or jewelry. If she's fixing her hair, adjusting her posture, or even reapplying lip balm when she's near you, she's making sure she's presenting herself in the best possible way. These little actions speak volumes about her attraction and her desire for you to notice her. It's her way of saying, I care about how I look, because I care. Care about what you think of me. Remember, women often express themselves in ways that are far more subtle than men. While you might be waiting for a grand gesture or an obvious flotation, she's likely communicating through these small, almost imperceptible signs. Don't miss them when she adjusts her clothes, her jewelry, or her appearance around you. She's telling you she's interested. It's a silent invitation for you to make a move. Chapter 5. She finds a way to touch you. Touch is one of the strongest ways people can communicate, especially when it comes to attraction. If a woman likes you, she will often find subtle ways to touch you. This could be as simple as lightly brushing her hand against yours, or giving you a friendly hug that lasts a little longer than usual. These little touches are also her way of closing the distance between you and showing that she's interested and at ease with you. Stoics knew that touch had great meaning. In fact, they thought that being close to someone and wanting to touch them were important signs of a connection between people. Stoic thought tells us to pay attention to what people do as well as what they say, especially when it comes to the small details of how they touch us. If a woman touches you, she's probably crossing the invisible line of personal space. This is a big deal because when she finds ways to touch you, she's communicating on a level that goes beyond words. She's testing the waters to see how you'll react to her touch. Will you touch her back? Will you pull away? How you react to these subtle touches will often determine the next step in your interaction. A Stoic would know that these touches are requests and would approach them with awareness and purpose. For example, she might touch him in a casual way. She'll put her hand on your arm when she's laughing or tap you on the shoulder to get your attention. These aren't accidental touches. She's trying to connect with you and is waiting to see if you'll respond by touching her back in a playful or affectionate way. But it's not just about physical contact. The way she touches you, if she's laughing while touching you or finding reasons to be close, sends a message that she's comfortable and open to more intimacy. Whenever she touches you, she's trying to close the emotional and physical gap between you, and it's a strong sign that she wants to take things further. This is where your Stoic discernment comes into play. Not all touches are equal, and you need to be aware of the situation. If she's touching you in a friendly, casual way, it might just be her personality. But if she finds more reasons to touch you as the conversation goes on, that's a sign of growing attraction. The Stoics taught that everything is done on purpose, and it's up to you to figure out what it means. If you miss these subtle clues, you could miss out on a chance to get closer to each other. Should she touch your arm or shoulder next time, know that she's not just being nice. She's waiting for you to make a move. Conversation is the basis of any relationship, but if a woman is interested in you, the way she talks to you can tell you a lot. If she always finds ways to talk to you, even about the smallest things, it's not by accident. She's trying to connect with you in the hopes that you'll pick up on the cue and get to know her better. In Stoic philosophy, communication, whether spoken or unspoken, was a key way to understand and build relationships. A Stoic would pay attention to not only what was said, but also the meaning behind it. When a woman likes you, she doesn't just talk to you for the sake of talking. Every chat is a subtle dance that helps her figure out how interested you are in her and bring you closer. She might start by asking simple things like, "How's your day going?" or "What did you do this weekend?" These aren't just general questions. They're chances for you to build rapport and get to know each other better. The Stoics were very good at noticing patterns in people's behavior, and they would have seen this as a chance to engage carefully and on purpose. Pay attention to how often she starts these conversations. If she goes out of her way to talk to you, even about small things, it's a strong sign that she wants to keep the connection alive. Because women often use conversation to see if the other person is interested. If she's always looking for reasons to talk to you, she's giving you a way to get to know her better, and it's not just about how often she talks to you. As you listen to the conversation, she may ask you random questions about yourself to find out more about your life, your hobbies, and your values. This is her way of seeing if you're compatible and if there's a deeper connection. Stoics thought that true connection was based on shared values and mutual understanding. This is exactly what she's looking for through conversation. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Watch how she responds when you talk. Does she lean in? Does she seem genuinely interested in what you're saying? Does she ask follow-up questions and keep the conversation going? This level of engagement shows that she's invested in the interaction. She's not just making small talk. She's actively trying to create a bond even in a group setting. It means she likes you if she finds a way to talk to you, even when she's talking to other people. She may be talking to other people, but she'll find a way to turn her comments or questions toward you. The serious observer would see this as a key sign. It's her way of getting close to someone in a social setting, suddenly making time for just the two of you even when other people are around. On the other hand, if you notice that she only talks when she's asked to or doesn't try to continue the conversation, it could mean that she's interested in you. Strong women who are interested in you will almost always find a way to keep the conversation going, so if she drives most of it, that's a sign that she wants to get deeper. If she talks about things that are important to her, or tells you personal stories, she's letting you into her world. She won't do this with just anyone by telling you about her life, experiences, or even dreams. The purpose of this test is to see if you can really connect with her. Stoicism teaches us to see past the surface to understand the meaning behind actions. And when she opens up like this, she's giving you a chance to connect on a much deeper level. So what's the point? If she's always finding ways to talk to you, it's not just because she's bored or being polite. It's her way of creating moments of connection and giving you a chance to make a move. Whether it's small talk about the weather or a deeper conversation about her interests, she's opening the door. It's your job to walk through it. The seventh one of the most classic subtle signs that a woman likes you is when she fiddles with her necklace, bracelet, or earrings while you're talking. It's not just a nervous habit. It's a subconscious message that she's interested, similar to how a Stoic would look for meaning in the little things in life. You should pay attention to these small actions that don't seem important, because they reveal a lot more than you might think. To break it down, a woman playing with her jewelry is often a sign that she is feeling tense. But why is she feeling tense? Simple. She's nervous around you because she likes you. Being nervous in this situation is a good sign because it means she's thinking about how you see her. Stoics believe that everything we do has a purpose, and that playing with her jewelry is her body's way of showing that she likes someone. You can often see her lightly pulling on a necklace, spinning a ring, or turning a bracelet. It's so natural for her that she doesn't even fully realize she's doing it. But it's clear that her attention is on you and that she's feeling a little uneasy being around you. The way her body is handling her feelings of attraction toward you is through subtle fidgeting, which also draws your attention to her. The serious observer would see this behavior as a way for her to communicate. Even though she isn't saying anything overtly flirtatious, her body is. Playing with her jewelry is a way to draw attention to her, especially the areas around her neck, wrists, and hands that can be very attractive. This is an invitation for you to notice her in a more intimate and romantic way. Think about it. She could be sitting there perfectly calm, but when she starts fidgeting with her necklace or ring, it's a clear change in behavior. It means she's feeling more aware of you. This is the kind of awareness that comes from being attracted to someone, even if she isn't consciously flirting. But you can tell by the way she moves that she's feeling something. You should also pay attention to how she plays with her jewelry. Is it a casual touch, or does she seem to do it more when she's talking to you? If you notice that her hands start moving toward her necklace or earrings when the conversation gets more personal, that's a huge sign that she's feeling something deeper. It means that she's interested in you, and this subtle movement is her way of showing that she feels that way without having to say it out loud. This is where your Stoic insight comes in. You need to figure out if she's just doing this out of habit, or if it only happens when you're around. Everything is in the background. It's a strong sign of attraction. If you notice that she's always calm and collected around other people but starts playing with her jewelry when she's near you, a Stoic would know that these actions aren't random. They have meaning, and in this case, that meaning is that she's drawn to you. But here's the most important thing. Don't ignore it. When a woman is playing with her jewelry in front of you, it's a subtle invitation to take things further. She's telling you that she's interested, and it's up to you to respond. If you ignore it, you might miss a chance to connect with her on a deeper level. Women are often more subtle in how they show attraction than men, which is why it's so important to understand these signs. When she fiddles with her necklace or bracelet, it's not just action. It's her body's way of telling you that she's thinking about you and is waiting for you to make the next move. The Stoics believed in acting when the time was right and seizing the moment when it presents itself. Now is your chance to make a move and see where this connection can take you. Understanding these subtle signals is key to knowing when a woman is waiting for you to make a move. The Stoics were masters of human observation and would have seen these cues as golden opportunities. From the way she points her feet to how she makes excuses to talk to you, every sign is a small invitation, so next time don't let these moments slip by. In both life and love, the Stoics believed in acting when the time was right. Before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your own stories in the comments. We want to hear about your experiences and what subtle signs you've noticed.